Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to rank a dentistry website. I actually done a video on this previously where I showed you guys a client where basically they were with us for just over 90 days, I believe, and we got them ranking position number 2 for dentists in Miami, and they were actually able to generate quite a lot of traffic and also new patients through to their website just by doing this step-by-step process. What I have done in this video is I've tried to break it down into I believe it's like 17 things that you should be focusing on, 17 actionable steps. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to follow along. If you guys do want like a part 2 to this, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you guys are like business owners and you don't want to be doing this yourself, you just rather hire someone to do this for you, make certain to check the link down below. You can go to cadredash.com, fill in the actual inquiry form, and we can see if we can work together. But let's get to it, right? So what I have done is I have grouped together 16 different tasks that we should probably be focusing on for any website. It doesn't matter if it's a brand new website. It doesn't matter if it is a website that has had some history. Like, let's say, for example, you have had your website for 10 years, but you've not really been actually growing your digital presence online. Everything here should apply to you. Some things might not, like for example, claiming a Google listing. You might have already done that, but we'll still cover it as an actual step, because it's probably good to actually follow along and figure out what you need to do and what you should actually avoid doing as well. So, as for every single website, I like to start off with keyword research. I think that is probably like the backbone of any website. And the reason why I say that is because you can figure out what your competitors are doing fairly quickly just by doing some form of keyword research, right? Now, although I have mentioned four things in the yellow section or in the keyword section, I would probably consider all 4 things as keyword research, but I'm actually going to break it down so you guys can understand how I do the thought process of keyword research and how I essentially plan on uploading certain articles on my website. So very quickly, I want to actually show you guys this. If any of you guys are like my hardcore viewers, you've probably seen this, so I'm sorry. But this does apply to literally every single website. It doesn't matter if you are selling dog toys or if you're a dental practice, this does apply, right? So how I break down keyword research is info related articles, which are more blog articles or long tail articles, some SEO agency owners call it, and these are very low ROI. They are essential for your website to rank. We still want them on your website, but even if we were to rank like how to prevent cavities naturally as number 1, and you're only just going to get clicks onto your website, which is deemed a positive ranking factor when it comes to Google. So we still want these cold articles. We should consistently be building up our knowledge base or our blog section on our website, mainly because like if we were to rank a few of these number 1, Google then trusts our website a little bit more, and it will essentially rank us higher for our ready-to-buy articles or our ready-to-buy pages, right? So then moving down in the funnel, we actually then have comparisons. So they're kind of more like warm articles. So for example, dental crown versus veneers, somebody that's searching that, they kind of want to know like the pros and cons, and then they're ready to take action and essentially purchase your product or your service. How much does teeth whitening cost? Again, somebody that's searching that, they want to know how much it costs, or potentially you might provide 2 or 3 different teeth whitening services, and you can go through the pros and cons of each, and then once they are ready, they can then book in for a teeth whitening session with you. So that's like comparison / warm. People that search like some of these articles, they're almost ready to buy. They just need a little bit more convincing. Then we have got ready to buy / hot articles, and these are like the service pages that you provide. So like teeth whitening, Invisalign, dental implants, teeth veneers, teeth crowns, anything like that. That falls under the ready to buy / hot. So somebody that's searching like teeth whitening in Miami, they just want to book in and essentially turn up at your dental practice. So now that we actually understand that, we then want to essentially create a list of articles that we want to actually upload. So if I just move my face over here, right, and SEO for a lot of people, they think it's just like magic, but it's really not. It all starts off with like with a Google sheet. Like that's how I start off with a lot of my clients. Whenever I'm building out an SEO campaign, literally like 80% of the work is done in a Google sheet. And then basically we start to scale it out on the website, right? So then, first of all, now that we understand keyword research, I'm going to put that as a tick, but there's going to be certain steps, right? So tick number 2 is services. Now, what I would be looking to do is listing off all of the services that I provide as a dental practice. Now, you can also take a look at other dental practices in your area and see what they provide. But say, for example, if you only do emergency cleaning, you might only want to have emergency cleaning as a dedicated page. And the reason why we're doing this, the reason why we are, if I could spell dentistry, there we go. The reason why we're setting this up all as a sheet to begin with is because it's going to become a lot easier for us to essentially understand which pages we need on our website and which pages we don't need on our website. So, for example, if we take a look at their services, so they've got dental checkup as a page. Yeah, I'm going to add that to my list. They also have dental veneers as a page. I'm going to add that as well. I'm going to go for like, let's say 10 different services. Obviously you can do more. By the way, whenever I'm doing any of these, there isn't like a right or wrong. There's always like a delete button, as I like to call it, because a lot of website owners or a lot of business owners, they're actually scared to publish any articles on their website. Again, I don't know why, but one thing to bear in mind is if you end up having a load of services that you don't provide or you don't do enough of, you can always just get rid of it. So just bear that in mind. So we've got emergency dentistry, Invisalign dentist. We'll do Invisalign dentist. And teeth whitening, we'll add that in as well. Teeth whitening. And then we'll also do kid-friendly dentist as well, because a lot of people search that. Kid-friendly dentist, right? So we've got like 7 different services. We could add more, we could add less. And if we go back to this diagram, these articles are all just like red. They're like red hot. Anybody that's searching these, they're going to be like ready to buy. Obviously, we could add in more. There isn't like a limit, but I'm happy with these. Now, what I would also want to do is add in some warm articles as well, right? So, for example, how much does teeth whitening cost? And we're going to obviously color code this as well, because it's pretty important. Then we can do also dental crown versus veneers. And again, this is more like an orange article. And then we've also got like gum disease treatment options. And the reason why I started off with the actual services is because once we actually start digging into like all of the warm and cold articles, what you'll typically find is all of these will actually be like supporting articles. So, for example, if we could build a page or a blog article on dental veneers, pros and cons, right? I'm gonna make that article up, right? I've not actually done the research to say if it is needed. But what you can actually do is you can actually internally link from all of these cold or all of these warm articles to relevant services that you actually provide as an offer. So whenever we're actually writing the article or the blog, if we actually take a look at this website here, what we can actually do is we can actually start to internally link from all of our blog articles up to the service pages, right? So for example, this is like a blog article, and it's trying to rank for the keyword, I think my gums are receding. So then you can actually internally link this throughout the content to your gum dental, or where would it be? Gum. You could actually internally link that to your gum disease treatment page, right? So that's also important when you are scaling out all of these warm articles and also all of the cold articles that we will get into in just a second as well. So then what we can also do as another form of keyword research is we can also head over to Ahrefs if you do have an account. Highly recommend you guys get an account for Ahrefs if you are planning on doing this yourself. I believe it's probably like $200-300 a month. I'm not certain on the pricing. We can probably do a little bit of a quick check. Ahrefs pricing. So I personally always start off with like the $199 because you just get a few additional bits to it, because with this you don't get much. So £200, but if you pay annually, it's £166. You can check them out. There's obviously competitors as well. Like you can go head over to SEMrush and stuff like that as well. Equally do a pretty decent job. But once you actually have this, or if you are just following along, what I would recommend is going over to like one of your competitors. Like I've just picked out New York Dental Office. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to actually do more filters, and then I'm actually going to do keyword, and I'm going to actually add in like questions. So like, for example, how, why, can. And what you'll typically find when you actually do any of these, we're going to do any as well. So that's going to say how, any keywords or any pages that rank for how or why or can is going to then filter for us. And then we've got like 1,709 articles. One thing to bear in mind as well is that there are certain keywords that are very similar that we wouldn't want to create two separate pages for, right? So like, for example, can I eat grapes after wisdom teeth removal? Can you eat grapes after wisdom teeth removal? That's just one page. We don't need to worry about building out two pages for that. But we're actually going to move that over into our sheet here. And can vaping cause gum recession? Again, these are what I like to call cold articles. So they're not going to be like huge money-making articles. If we actually refer back to our image here, this is like info-related articles. They're very low ROI, but I highly recommend from an SEO point of view to just consistently be uploading these articles through to your website. So again, I'll probably just like pick out like maybe 4 or 5 of these. How to get used to Invisalign, right? So we'll have like 3 of these as well. By the way, just as a rule of thumb, because I have done this before a lot on various dentistry websites, typically speaking in the cold, it's probably like maybe 65%, or if I had to put a percentage to all of these articles, I know I've only just done 4 in the warm section and then 3 in this section. I would probably say like 60% of the articles, the cold articles are probably 60% of your overall website. There's probably like maybe 25% of your overall website are warm articles, and then you've probably got another, like, let's say 10 to 15% as actual service pages, right? So just bear that in mind as a rule of thumb. Like, we typically try to aim for, when we're working with dentists, because it's kind of like a repeatable process. Once you've kind of done it once for one dentistry clinic in one state or one town, it's very similar. It doesn't matter if you're in Chicago, in London, in New York, pretty similar SOP internally. And the reason why I'm saying that is typically a good ranking dentistry website is probably about 300 pages. So if you just have that rule of thumb in mind, where you need to consistently be uploading articles or blog articles to your website, the figure that you're trying to go for here is probably about 300 articles. Typically speaking, it can be a little bit less, it can be a little bit more, but that's probably the sweet spot for dentistry websites, right? So now that we've done our keyword research, we're going to tick off all of these. The last thing is just being within this section, right? Is just start to upload the actual articles. So once you actually have got all of the services that you want to provide, all of the blog articles that you want to upload through to your website, you just want to be consistent with it. Like, don't think that this section is not done. In purpose of this video, it is, because if I was gonna just do the entire keyword research for a dentistry website, it's probably going to take me like 4 or 5 days to complete this, because of the amount of blog articles. You need to group together certain pages. The grouping together is probably the one downside that a lot of business owners or a lot of SEOs have. And what I mean by that is just like making certain that you're not building a individual page for, can I eat grapes after wisdom teeth removal, and can you eat grapes after wisdom teeth removal. You just want to create that as one article. So just bear that in mind, and then just being consistent. Like, what I do as like an SEO agency owner and stuff is, we probably do keyword research every single month because things change. There's certain trends. There's always more keywords to rank for. So although I said 300, that should probably be like the base foundation of your website. You should be aiming for more articles, because again, the more articles you have, the more topical authority you're actually going to be within the space, and Google's going to essentially just rank you higher. So then, once we actually have got the base foundations of our website set up, the next step is actually claiming our Google listings. So if you haven't done this already, what I highly recommend you guys do is, if we head over to Google, let me just drag this in from my other screen, claim Google profile, just search this, claim Google business, is it business profile? Business profile. How to add or claim your business profile. Get your business profile. This should take you like a couple minutes to actually do. But once you actually have done it, we need to then add in a few things to our Google business profile. And the reason why we are focusing on a Google business profile is because we want to obviously drive as many clicks through to our website as much as we can, but we also want to drive as many driving directions, also as many phone calls through to our website. And the best way to actually do that is actually claiming our Google listing. If you haven't already done this, it takes like a couple minutes to do, and basically what we want to do is match everything up. So for example, if our website or our business is called 209nycdental.com, we want to obviously list that very similar on our Google business profile. You can obviously add in spaces, but the last thing you want to be doing when it comes to like naming your profile is naming it something completely irrelevant, right? So just make certain that you are actually claiming it properly. So then what we want to do, the next step, is actually listing our services. Now, there's a couple examples that I actually want to show you guys. If I so let's just take a look at a few different Google Business profiles. So some of which they've not actually done this, which is quite surprising. But 209 Dentist, right? If we actually open this up here, they have actually listed products, and they've also categorized the products, right? So for example, in the cosmetic dentistry category, if we actually take a look here, so they've got 4 different categories. So they've got cosmetic dentistry, hygiene and preventative care, dental implants, and dental emergency. Then they have got products in each actual category. So the category here is cosmetic dentistry. They've got 2 products within that. They've got hygiene and preventative care. They then also have 2 products within that. They also do have dental implants. Again, 2 products, and they've also got dental emergency. If you can match this for your services that you actually provide, then very good. You can obviously add in more categories. So for example, if you wanted to do checkups, you could actually have checkups as a category, and then have emergency checkups, or you can also have kid-friendly checkups within the actual category as well, and that would work very well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tick products, and I'm also going to tick categories as well. Now, what this Google Business Profile doesn't do is they don't actually list any services. What I will do is I'll pause the video for just a couple seconds, and I'll try and find a Google Business Profile that is actually got the services listed. So this is what the actual services section looks like. Now, I wasn't actually able to find any dentist practices that are actually applying this, but again, it's very similar to what I've shown you before. What you would want to be doing here is, if you are providing cosmetic dentistry as a service, you can obviously add that in as a primary service, and then very quickly you can reverse engineer what else you want to add into the cosmetic dentistry. So as a subcategory within the primary category of your service, you can obviously provide teeth whitening as a service. You can obviously do a variety of different other services that fall into cosmetic dentistry, right? So that is the listings, or sorry, the services as listings section. We then want to add consistent posts on our Google Business Profile. Now, one thing that I would say is that the daily uploading, for example, to GMBs, I actually have tested this out myself. If you were to upload, let's say 30 posts within a month, or if you were to upload 5 posts in a month, it doesn't necessarily matter on the rankings of the Google Business Profile. What it does actually impact is the conversion. And what I mean by that is, if, say, for example, this Google Business Profile, it's not actually got any posts, but if we were to take a look at some of their competitors, so for example, New York Dental Office, they recently uploaded 20th of July 2024, then the 10th, then the 1st, 28th of June, 20th of May. When somebody's actually just looking at your Google Business Profile, if they can see that you're being consistent, it's just going to help with the actual conversion rate of them actually phoning you, or potentially even getting driving directions to your dental practice. So adding posts, it does not have a ranking factor as of recording this video, right? Because something might change in the coming months, but as of recording this video, let me just check the date. I believe it is the 30th of July 2024. There isn't a ranking factor when it comes to posts. It's more of a conversion optimization thing. The next thing is getting reviews. Now, this shouldn't really fall on your SEO agency, or like, let's say, for example, if you are an SEO agency and you're watching this shouldn't really fall on your head. This should actually be like the dental practice. They're the one that should be trying to actively get more reviews from patients that actually come in to the actual dental practice. One thing you can also do as well is you can get some review cards. Let me just, if I just pull this up on my other monitor, so you can get review cards, and basically this is like you just tap the actual card itself, and it will actually pop up with the Google Business Review. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. The quality on this video is a little bit low, but let me just try to optimize the quality. 720p is the highest that it can go. Let's try this again. So as you can see, you just tap the actual review, and then you've got the 5-star review, and you can just leave the 5-star reviews there. That will naturally increase the amount of reviews that you're getting. So that is one strategy. Another strategy that you can always do as well is if you have got like a CRM system, you can just send out an email blast to every single patient that you've had over the last 4 or 5 years, and you can try to get them to leave you a review. You can also incentivize reviews. So one of the dental practices that I've worked with, whenever somebody leaves them a review and they come into the actual dental practice with the review, they'll get like a free toothbrush or free toothpaste, or in some cases they even also do like free teeth polishing as well. So there's multiple ways. You just need to be a little bit creative with it. If I'm being honest, not many people like to leave reviews if you just ask for them, unless you've got like the actual business, like the review card that I've just shown you guys. That's the one caveat. But if you're just sending out mass emails and stuff, like if you have like, let's say 100 people on your CRM system that you're sending out a email blast to, you're probably only going to get like 10, 15 people actually leaving you a review if you are lucky. So just bear that in mind when you are getting reviews. When they're actually in the dental practice, that's like the best time to get reviews. The next section, or the next step, is add photos to your Google Business profile. I actually have added in 2 additional steps, so we are overall at 19. But adding photos to your Google Business profile can definitely help with conversion. So, for example, this dental practice, they've got like a nice picture of the team. One thing that I would say is if you can actually upload your own photos, don't use stock images, don't go to Shutterstock for this step. I know it can be a little bit of a time-consuming task, but to get like the best SEO results for your Google Business profile, for dentists and stuff, if you can get pictures of your waiting room, of your staff, potentially of your photos of your sign outside, anything like that can definitely help. Like even like uploading pictures of the seats that you've got, the waiting area, anything like that can, honestly, it helps so much. You just don't understand. Like, we actually did run a test of using Shutterstock images, so just using stock images that isn't our own images, in comparison to actually taking photos of the dental practice. It was massive. It was like a night and day test when we actually got the results back. So add photos. I'm actually going to add unique photos, just because I just want to emphasize that being is super important. Areas served. So let me see if this is actually a thing in the US. Let me see. Yeah, they do. So areas served, basically just mentioning where your target audience lies. Like, so for example, this dental practice, it is in New York, and they've actually listed Manhattan and nearby areas. If we take a look at this dentist in Miami, and if we take a look here, do they actually have an area served? They don't. Miami and nearby, so they've got Miami, Brickell, downtown Miami, Key Biscayne. I've definitely mispronounced that. I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot of American viewers that watch my videos, and I always butcher the names. This is another one to add to the list. If we take a look at this, for example, dentists in Orlando. This dental practice, they've got Edgewood, College Park, Orlando, Baldwin Park, Dr. Phillips, Winter Park. So they've actually listed a few different areas served. My rule of thumb here is just adding in 4. Obviously, these guys have got a lot more, but just as a rule of thumb, start off with 4, and then you can slowly expand it and get more areas. One thing to bear in mind as well is if you're just starting this off, you might not want to look at what the guys that have 800 reviews are doing, because they are probably ranking more so because of the amount of reviews that they have, as opposed to the actual correct setup of their Google Business Profile. But as a rule of thumb, areas served, anything between like 4 and 8 is fine. The next thing what we wanted to be doing is adding a FAQ. Now, let's see if any of these actually have a FAQ. Yes, they do. So, what you want to be doing is, if we actually open this up, so like, do they accept insurance? You can obviously just what you should be doing is replying to all of your reviews and also replying to any questions that you actually have as well. So one step that I'm actually going to add in here is reply to reviews. So whenever you get, this could even be a positive or a negative review, try, like, what I see a lot of business owners do, because they're so passionate about growing their dental practice or just their business in general, whenever somebody leaves them a 2-star review or a 1-star review, they reply with like backlash, they reply with hate. That's the worst thing that you could do. What you can try to do is, if, say, for example, somebody did have a bad experience in your dental practice and they left your 1-star review, you can always reply back to them saying, "Hi Steve, I'm sorry that," or be very apologetic. "Hi Steve, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience at our dental practice. We want to make certain that we can fix this. If you can give us a call, put in your telephone number, and one of our staff members will be happy to essentially fix this issue that they had or that you had." Replying to a negative review like that is a lot better in comparison to just replying back saying, "Steve, you don't know what you're talking about. That's exactly how we treat all of our patients, etc., etc." Right? You can see like how the balancing act is, and again, it's all to do with conversion rate optimization when it comes to your Google Business Profile. Like, if potentially new clients see that you are reacting to bad reviews in a negative manner, they're kind of going to be switched off and they might not want to actually go to your dental practice. So just bear that in mind. Even if you do get a 1-star review, it's not the end of the world. Like, look at all of these dental practices, right? So if we take a look, if we go to Dentist in Orlando, they've got 866 reviews. They're 4.8 on average. These guys have 657, 4.9 on average, 4.7, 4.9, 4.9. This is 5-star. That's like so crazy to see. Like, I very rarely see a dental practice with, or just any business with 5-star reviews. 4.8, 5, 5. I say that and then there's like loads of 5-star review businesses, 4.9, 4.7. But just one thing to bear in mind as well is, even though that they have got 5-star reviews, they're not ranking number 1. Reviews isn't the beyond and end all of ranking your GMB or your Google Business Profile. So just bear that in mind. Adding in the FAQ, so if somebody actually asks you a question on your Google Business Profile, just replying to that as well. Again, just being as active as you can on your Google Business Profile helps. Then the last section is adding videos to your Google Business Profile. Let's see if we can actually find a company or a dental practice that actually has done that. Let's see. These guys do. Perfect. I thought I was going to need to search like a load of different Google Business Profiles. But as you can see here, they've actually got like a little bit of an intro. I'm not actually certain if you can hear the audio. Last time I checked, you couldn't hear the audio. Yeah, actually you can. So you can actually have like a little bit of voiceover in the video. And that again does definitely help. So what I would recommend is actually these guys have actually done a pretty decent job. So they've got like their waiting area. They've actually got like really nice pearly white teeth. But they've actually got like a lot of like B-roll footage. That guy's smell was a bit creepy, but besides the point, you can actually have videos like this on your Google business profile, and again, it definitely helps when it comes to converting traffic into paying clients. That's ultimately what we're doing. It doesn't matter how many clicks our website gets, if we aren't able to actually convert that traffic into paying clients, it's never going to be beneficial from a marketing point of view. So making certain that we actually have got like photos and also videos like what these guys have done definitely helps. And again, start doing this and being consistent. Don't just think that if you get 20 reviews you're going to rank number 1. We're going to want to consistently be doing this throughout the next 12 months, throughout the next 5 years. Like the dental practice ain't going to go anywhere. We just want to be consistent as possible with it. So then I'm going to actually leave a tick. So then getting listed on citation websites. Now, you might actually want to actually do this after setting up your website. This should probably, it can actually go before your Google business profile. But again, it doesn't really necessarily matter. As long as you just be consistent with everything I've showed you guys, it can definitely help. So listed on citations. What does that mean? So one thing that we want to be doing, and again, this is universal, like if any of you guys are watching this and you're not even in the dentistry space, you want to be making certain that you are getting listed on citation websites. So for example, in America, you have got opencare.com, and they're pretty big in the dental space. And basically what we want to be doing is making certain that we are actually getting listed on these websites. And again, if we can get reviews on these websites as well, it can definitely go a long way. And the reason for that is it's kind of like a quick win SEO tactic. And what I mean by that is like Yelp, they're already ranking for dentists in Miami. Some people, they as soon as they see Yelp, they're just going to go to Yelp and they're going to be like, right, who can I go to? So if we can get listed on these directory websites, some people call them aggregator websites as well, that can definitely help as well. Again, it doesn't take long. It's kind of like add a business, or it's kind of like the Google business profile, where we are just actually adding our business to Yelp. In the UK, it's Yellow Pages. In America, as soon as you start searching a few different keywords like dentists in Miami, dentists in New York, you'll start to get a list of actually which dentistry citation sites that you should actually be getting listed on. Very quickly, what I will do is I'll actually create a new sheet here, or actually what we'll do is we'll use this same sheet here, right? So directory, listings. We'll add a few in here. So we've got like Yelp.com. We also have got opencare.com. Some of these, by the way, just so you guys know, they will actually they will charge you. A lot of and a lot of times they are free. But again, it just depends on how big the website is. Zocdoc.com. And let's see if we can try and find 5 different ones. What's this one? This is actually dental practice. So you've got Yelp. Oh, actually, you do have Yellow Pages in the UK. And we will try to find a 5th one. I'm not going to stop until I find the 5th one. Dentist of Miami and orthodontists. We'll try New York. New York. Opencare.com. Have we got Opencare? We do have Opencare. ZocDoc, we've got Yellow Pages. We have topratedentist.com. Yes, perfect. So we actually have got 5 of these now listed. So what I would recommend is every single one of them, they actually have got like a very similar process where you just like apply. Like even if we go to like ZocDoc and if we take a look at opencare.com, you can actually list your practice on ZocDoc. It should probably take you like maybe 10 minutes each one. Same goes with OpenCare as well. So I'm going to assume you're going to need to log in here. Let's see. Privacy opt-out. Yeah, so you're probably going to need to like sign up, and then you can start to like list your actual dental practice or dental practices if you've got multiple. And very quickly you can start to add more directory listings. Just as a rule of thumb, again, and you guys might not want to hear this, we have had websites or businesses listed on 500 directories before. So just bear that in mind. Also, what you might want to do as well is try and find like state relevant or location relevant directories. So if you're in New York, there might be like a New York directory website that you can get listed on. If you're in London, you can get listed on like, there's tons of like London directory style websites. So that will be like a good place to start with when it comes to like your citations and stuff. Again, I'm going to just add this at the bottom of this section because I think everything that I've taught you guys, you just need to be consistent. The next step is link building / off-page SEO. Again, in some cases you need to do this, in some cases you don't. It solely depends on like the keywords that you're trying to rank for, the locations you're trying to show up higher in Google. But if we take a look at NewYorkDentalOffice.com, right, they've got obviously 636 backlinks. But if we were to actually take a look here, and you can do this for any one of your competitors, right? So you can set up a few filters. So if we select do follow, and if we do backlink type in content as well, we're going to go from 636 down to like 66, right? So they've actually got a link from BuzzFeedNews.com. And basically it's talking about best products for dry mouth. And it links to New York Dental Office with that hyperlink, right? So what we want to be doing is actually doing like outreach through to these websites and essentially getting links back from these websites. So for example, convertflow.com, that's again another link that they actually have. So we can essentially just reach out to these websites and say like, hey, you've linked to New York Dental Office. Can we basically like do a guest post or get a link from your website back to ours? Again, very time consuming task. In this case, they've got 66 backlinks. So you're going to essentially need to link, or you're going to need to send out at least 100 emails to get a good response rate. But for this space, or for this case, what I would be looking to do is doing like a email outreach process. So what I want to be doing is like trying to figure out like who's actually published this article, and basically just doing outreach through to that to that website. That's probably like the best strategy that I would be following for this case. And also one other thing as well to remember is you probably don't need as many links as you think you probably need. Like if we actually do one link per domain, they've actually got like 36 unique backlinks through to their website that actually we should be doing like outreach through to. And bearing in mind, this website, like they're ranking position number 2 for dentists in New York. So 36 links, it's not that much. And New York is pretty like competitive. So if, say for example, you're a dental practice in, I don't know, let's say Kissimmee, Florida, right? You're probably not going to need that many. You might need like 10 backlinks and maybe like a couple hundred citations as well. But again, you don't need to be doing this. Like you don't need to like hit the ground running, to say, you can basically just do like 1 link or 2 links a month, and that will essentially start to grow out your website fairly consistently. You just need to be consistent, like what I've said with every single step in this in this video. But as always, if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If there is a follow-up, or if you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. If you guys want to follow up, mention follow-up in the actual comments. This has been actually, it's turned out to be 20-point checklist for dental SEO. But I promise you guys, if you follow this to the T, you will get results. Your website will start ranking higher on Google. You'll start to essentially get a consistent flow of inquiries for your dental practice, of new patients as well. So you're not just relying on word of mouth marketing. And if you guys do want to hire my agency to do this for your dental practice, check the link down below or head over to casualdash.com, fill in the form, and my team will get back to you. Thanks.